The lack of consultation with traditional owners, unfortunately, it's painful for us to see what happens when there's no consultation. We're talking about the environment, we're talking about development, particularly when they dig up remains of our ancestors, middens. The whole aspect of our culture sometimes is treated disrespectfully. I mean, you know, we've been telling government agencies, we've been telling the environmental controllers, we need to be consulted when it comes to activity of development.
Yeah, one idea would be to get more community engagement with council and communities, especially when they planning and developing.
I'd love to see that, you know, to bring people together and to bring more understanding of Aboriginal life, more understanding with the wider community.
The main priorities would be the protection of our history and how best we manage it in consultation with the community, because they have to be the custodians that take on this fight, because it's all about protection. Because like the cultural fishermen who are part of it, they come here 20 years later and there's no beach. What are they going to do to sustain themselves?
What we want is total recognition of who we are, and we want a strong input in waters and country and our fishing grounds. It's not only about fishing and gathering, it goes much deeper in a cultural way of Aboriginal people, having a say in what our governments outline what should happen with our country.
We have got connection to the land here. I can't understand why it takes 10 or 15 years, or as long like Mabo did, to win his case, when the proof is all there. And I think they're open that we're going to go away, but we're not going to go away, we're strong. Fisheries might have beaches closed, national parks might stop you from having access to a place, and council, they're a lot, you know, and we should have access, because the majority of the fish we catch are migrating fish. They're here today and gone tomorrow.
There's a big campground over there on the other side of the bridge. They got a gate over here. No, we can't get access to it. And we need special places like that for camps, cultural camps and stuff like that, so we can take our young out and teach them culture.
You know, there's 5 generations just in my family alone, and my job is to teach my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren values of our cultural history, and they need to be able to carry that tradition on.
The governments have got to engage with us to actually see what we can offer.
It's hard to not be negative about the way that the coast and the waterways and the land has been managed, and Aboriginal people's knowledge is not utilised enough in every area.
People can't own the shoreline. You know, in our culture we share, and we'll share our country, and the government needs to step in with property owners that are on the foreshores, and that waterways can't be a part of their property.
So definitely Indigenous input with the non-Indigenous on maintaining the coastline is so important, because even with the fires and stuff that we just experienced, had we been able to manage the country better, maybe things wouldn't have gotten that bad. And that's a key example of we need to work hand in hand together to make the world a better place for everybody.
You know, we've watched our country and our land and our waters being destroyed, and everybody else has a say in management except us, and they need to talk to traditional owners and more people about this, their coastal management plan. And I'm all for working in partnership and, you know, building relationships. You know, I've been involved in partnership, and I know that it's successful.
So it's good that these council mob are making that move to sort of walk together, because it's important for us to share our culture.
The main thing that I've been trying to get across to council is to please help protect our sites. You know, we've got mythical sites, we've got midden sites, We've got hunting and gathering sites. We've always gone, you know, and we've been trying to get across to council. Please consult with us when there's any development going on.